It's Tiffy again. Something else that those who are blind or have low vision don't know about, unless you're a user of Be My Eyes. And I can understand why you are, sorry about that, terrified of confronting them, but I'm not terrified of confronting them. Be My Eyes spy on you. No, they're not Chinese, but they are using Chinese technology. I don't know the software that they are using, but they record your calls/conversations with the volunteer in question, whoever it is, without your consent. They told us in a notification about a year ago or whenever it was that they were doing this, and we weren't allowed to protest it or anything. So this app is actually spying on you. It's nothing to do with training and finding out what they can use the app for. They are spying on you because they want to know what you're doing. They want to perv on you. And that's what these bastards are doing. They are learning from the Chinese. But I thought they were Norwegian, right? Well, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe this app was a TikTok sort of thing, like what they do in China. I don't believe anything that they say anymore. The problem is, though, there is no other app like Be My Eyes, and this bastard Hans, whatever his name is, knows it. So he's cornered the blind market, and he is holding it to ransom. And thanks to him, if you speak out against them, your account gets wiped. Believe me, I will speak out against them until I get my account back. And I don't want anyone else to be afraid either of speaking out against them. Because no volunteer should be telling anyone to call the emergency services if they can't find an item that they've lost. The Be My Eyes robots should be seeking out the volunteers who are causing trouble and not harassing the victims who are getting told by these volunteers, you need to call the emergency services. I'm not going to jail, and I'm definitely not going to pay a fine. I'm not fucking doing that. Why? Well, why should I? Why should I pay a fine for something that I only did because a volunteer told me to, and what choice did I have? Now, I've never called the emergency services because I didn't have a way to find something. I've never done it. However, Be My Eyes, as I said on the previous video, do not offer training to volunteers. They especially don't give them a lesson on what they can say to people and what they should never say. Sometimes I even have to fucking warn volunteers that before the call starts, I need help finding this, that, and the other. However, if I can't find it, you cannot tell me to call emergency services because it's illegal. You only call emergency services when you are in a life-threatening situation. That could be medical, for an ambulance, crime for police, or fire for the fire brigade, or FRV in Victoria, in Australia. and whatever other country you're in, it could be whatever fire department you're in. You can't call 999 in Britain, 911 in the US, 000 in Australia, 112 in Europe, or any of these other emergency services numbers just because you can't find a fucking SIM card, or you can't find a chocolate bar, or you can't find a whatever it is. You're not allowed to do that. Why? Well, hello, common sense. And common sense ain't very fucking common. Be My Eyes really need to be reported to the Australian Federal Police. Because if someone does something like that, and they call their own country's emergency services number because a volunteer tells them to, then Be My Eyes might just find themselves with a lawsuit. And I hope they do, because they will lose what they have if they have to pay out billions of euros to different countries because people who are blind or have low vision in these countries have called the emergency services because they were gullible enough to believe that a volunteer told them that. There are some excellent volunteers, I'll give you that. And those volunteers are the ones who sign up with the goodness of their heart. But there are volunteers or people who claim to be volunteers and you don't know what their motive is. Obviously, this South African woman's motive was to get me kicked off the app because this bitch has succeeded. I'm now off the app. My account is still there, but it's suspended. But I'm basically off the app because of her. And Be My Eyes fuckers know that I don't have a way to go to court. That I don't have a way to sue them. But they are going to be reinstating my account. And if they don't do it, I'll find a way to go to a Current Affair Australia. I'll definitely go to Ben Fordham of 2GB and anyone at 3AW, I'll do that. Because my account is needed. I need the support. I nearly thought of suicide last night because of what Be My Eyes forced me to almost do. And that was to call emergency services. I didn't call emergency services, by the way, but that's what one volunteer was attempting to force me to do. I didn't nearly commit suicide or think of committing suicide because of that. The issue here is that Be My Eyes have suspended a service that I don't have a choice but to have. I can't live without it. And I called Lifeline because I needed to know how to handle this. Well, you know what this bitch at Lifeline said to me? You need to make friends with Be My Eyes. I said, you fucking said what to me now? I said they are the ones who are ignoring the fact that those who are blind or have low vision are being told by volunteers, and I wouldn't be the only one, if you are if you are losing something or you've lost something and you need to find something and you're desperate for it, the only choice you've got if you haven't got anyone else to help you is to call the emergency services. Sorry, I'm tired. But get this. The Lifeline volunteer said to me, if you can't find your SIM card, you need to call emergency services. I said, oh, holy crap. I said, you're telling me what a volunteer told me. How much is a fine then if that volunteer tells me to call emergency services, or you tell me to call emergency services because I can't find a fucking SIM card? What's the fine? Oh, and her voice is like this. I can't look that up for you, dear. I don't have that knowledge. I'm not allowed to look it up for you. I am just a volunteer. It must be very disappointing for you. You must be very distressed, aren't you, dear? I'm sorry, you're not at a fucking posh school. You're trying to help someone who needs help with what to do about a fucking organisation who promises the world and gives you fuck all. None of this. It's very disappointing, dear. You need to call emergency services, dear. For fuck's sake. I'm telling Lifeline this because I don't know how to handle Be My Eyes and I need the services back. Now, obviously, they can't give them back to me. But this scumbag then goes, you need to make friends with them because they are providing the services to you. And you need to apologise to them. I don't need to do fuck. Be My Eyes are the ones who need to apologise to me. Because Be My Eyes are letting a volunteer say to me, like this woman who claims to live in England, I doubt it. She goes, and I'll try and do the accent as best I can, if you can't find the card that you are looking for, then maybe you need to call emergency services because you are obviously desperate to find the card and you obviously need this SIM card. So if you cannot find this SIM card, then you need to call emergency services. Sorry, I'm not good at doing a South African accent. I'm trying my best, believe me. But when she goes, if you cannot find this card, you need to call emergency services. And that is all I can do to help you right now. Again, like, seriously. Maybe Be My Eyes should post on their fucking cushy website and their app, for those who can get into it, what a fine would cost if anyone was to listen to any stupid idiot telling them to call emergency services. And what that fine would be in each country. Because they are ignoring this and now they basically treated me like a test case. Yeah, I'm happy to be your test case, but I'm not going to let anything like this happen to anyone ever again. Give me back my account or I'm suing. I'll find a way. Because, Be My Eyes, you've now left me stranded. I've got nothing, thanks to you, all because you ignored the plea when I said to you on Facebook, which you motherfuckers blocked me from, by the way, because I told the truth way before this happened. And I've even said to you on Facebook, you need to tell volunteers that no one is to tell a blind person to call emergency services. I said that publicly on Facebook. You motherfuckers ignored me. You won't be ignoring the Federal Police, the Australian Federal Police, I might add, or Victoria Police if they do watch this video, or New South Wales Police, or Swedish Police, or Norwegian Police, or whoever turns up to somebody's house when they are called because that person is told by a volunteer, you need to call those services. Because mark my words, be my eyes, the police will track you down. They will hunt you down.